What's up, GSR family? We're back with Mobashir, Mike, Mossy, and myself. Lots has happened since last we were on. We were talking about pre-playoff, and now we're getting into second round as the first round wraps up. So, guys, I just want to, real quick, the first round, I want to talk about some of the series there before we get to the second round of the playoffs. Regarding the first round, we had some good matchups. The interesting ones for me, at least, I'm sure you guys will agree. I think we're all intrigued to see how the Hawks Knicks went, Clipper Mavs, and then the Suns and Lakers. So real quick, Hawks and Knicks. This one is interesting because I think we all picked Knicks. At least I remember I picked Knicks. I was a little shocked that they lost 4-1. I was hoping that it would go 6 or 7 with the Knicks winning. But you could clearly see there was a lack of talent
in the Knicks.
Yeah.
All the talent in the Knicks, baby. All that
Damn. Yep. Because Mike did say.
I'm sorry to cut you off there.
It's fine. I'm gonna be done, and then Mossy, you could go in. But yes, like you said, clearly Hawks is way more talented than the Knicks. I believe the Knicks had a good season. They overachieved. At least they got to the playoffs, and it's
coach of the year.
As coach of the year, and it's trending upwards for them. Go ahead, Mossy.
No, I mean, we just saw what they're lacking. I mean, all the Hawks had to do is kind of take out Randall out the game, and it was their series to win. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, Randall clearly showed that he wasn't ready for that moment, and he had no one around him to help him in that moment. But I'm not going to take away anything from Mike. Honestly, I get where he was coming from before with all the young guys on the team and how the Knicks played this year. We all joke around and we got into an argument about that. But honestly, I do get it. I do see, all these young talent they got going on, and Knicks are definitely headed in the right direction. But I mean, the Hawks took it to them. And I think the Knicks fans are somewhat to blame for this, to be honest. All the Knicks fans out there, stop being Cowboy fans. Because you got one win and you're on the street yelling, "We want Brooklyn." We want Brooklyn? Really? You couldn't even beat the Hawks. You want Brooklyn? Get out of here, man. But yeah, it was a good series. But I mean, honestly, the Knicks just showed that they weren't ready for this stage. They were just played hard, and that's what got them there.
Yeah, I'll eat my piece of humble pie on this one and say I was wrong on that. I think the biggest, kind of thing there was exactly what Mossy said, was Julius Randle. I mean, he kind of disappeared a little bit. I don't know if he was ready for the spotlight. He was kind of showing up in that final game, but it was hard. I think, someone I was surprised that really performed in that series was Derrick Rose. He performed really, really well. Tom Thibodeau was able to re-unlock that, but we saw that what they lacked was a real, true center. They lacked a true center. Clint Capella was tearing them up. John Collins was tearing them up. I mean, there was no real, defender of the paint. Don't get me wrong, Nerlens Noel is good, but that's all he is. When you go up against a Trae Young, who's great to trending towards amazing, right? He's kind of trending in that direction. No center, and you have a guy that can hit a floater with his eyes closed, pretty much. You just couldn't stop him. It was just, and then on top of that, Trae Young will live in folklore now. He became the villain of Madison Square Garden. That's a big title to get. And the Knicks players pretty much gave him that title. They were like, "Here you go, buddy. Here's a part of your legacy if you have one later on. Here's for your first playoff run. You became the villain of MSG." And it was kind of the Knicks fans' fault too. They got too cocky. They spit on him, all that other stuff that happened. You don't rev up a player like that. Not someone like Trae Young. He showed out. Even if they lose to Philly, I got mad respect for that kid and respect for the Hawks. But I also agree the Knicks are trending in the right direction, and they're going to need a little more talent. to get to where they need to go. So yeah.
I mean, I was high on the Hawks from the beginning of the season just because there are like off-season acquisitions and stuff. But I don't know what happened during the season. They had that long losing streak. I was like, "Yo, this team didn't live up to their hype." But I think we're starting to see it more now. Like the way they built that team around Trae Young, it's like you couldn't build it any better. And that's what I feel like, what the Mavs need to learn from. Like, you need to build a team that's going to help Doncic out and stuff. But like you said about the Knicks with no center, like you saw them missing Mitchell Robinson bad that series. Like, I think he would have been a big factor in the paint. But yeah, like you said, Trae Young, man, just took over that series. And I think the Hawks were just mentally were more like, they just felt like the Knicks were not to their level. Like you saw in how they played and everything.
Real quick point. Is the Hawks really that good, or is this a factor of the Knicks being that bad? Because I know the Hawks are good. Trae Young is amazing and all that. They have a good team, but we're already I hear people talking about, if not Brooklyn, I see the Hawks coming out of the East and like all this hype. I mean, the Hawks are a good playoff team, but I still think they're missing pieces. I still think they need another person in that team if they're going to take the next step. Just a quick point on that.
We're going to get to that once we get to the second round to discuss that series with Hawks and Sixers. But yeah, you guys made valiant point on both the Knicks and Hawks. Moving forward, the Clippers, Mavs. That was a really good series. I think that was the best series from the first round. It went 7. Who doesn't like a game 7? It was weird because the teams, they were winning at home. On the road, actually, they couldn't win at home. A lot of the time I picked Clippers, but I was in the beginning, I wasn't too high on them after going down 2-0. Like it was hard to think, okay, how are they going to beat the Mavericks at home going down 0-2? And especially in that game 3 when they were down huge and the Mavericks was hitting all their threes, I was like, oh, same old Clippers. And then Kawhi went Terminator. He took over. He finally did what he was supposed to do. Not when he didn't do in game 1 and 2 was take on Luka and defend them. And then that was that. So I think that was a great series for the Clippers. Again, once we get to round 2, I'll talk about how this series will benefit them in that round. But that's my take on that.
I think Porzingis did Luka dirty, to be honest. And I think that they Carlisle got out-coached by Ty Lue. Putting Porzingis at the 3-point line is useless in that specific series. Like, yeah, he's a 7-footer that can shoot, but he needs to stay in the post. I know you want Luka to operate and do all that other stuff, but the kid could shoot threes. He could shoot mid-range, step back, all that. You have a center in the way, like that would have been fine. And we kind of saw it, and I don't know if anyone saw the report after Porzingis saying, like, he's kind of fed up with Luka taking all the spotlight. Like, dude, I understand you're getting paid all this money, but you're not a transcendent superstar that's going to take a team there. Because if you were, when you had the ball in your hands, you would have scored, but you didn't. And I think it's unfair having only that as the talent piece for Luka now. I think when the trade first happened, it was like, oh my God, this is going to be a great tandem. But at the end of the day, Kristaps Porzingis, maybe has a little bit of that like kind of selfish feel to him where he wants the spotlight. He came from New York, whatever. It's like, dude, that kid's way better than you. And you need to be at the center position, guarding the paint and dunking the ball and take the 5 out every once in a while to give him room to operate. But big shout out to Kawhi, man. And you know what? I'm going to say it. Big shout out to PG-13. The boy couldn't score and get it done that way, but I think in one of the games he had 10 assists, and the other game he had like 10 or 15 rebounds or something, or 9 rebounds or something like that, like 15 points. He contributed in the ways that he needed to. and let Kawhi do his thing. So big shout out to PG. And if he's figured that out for the rest of the time, even as a Lakers fan, I'll admit the Clippers are a problem if he's figured out his role.
All right. I mean, congratulations for the Clippers for taking Doncic to Game 7. Honestly, it was a one-man show, right? I mean, if I'm the Clippers, I'm kind of embarrassed because there was one guy taking me to Game 7. We're talking about two different levels of teams here, guys. We're talking about a Maverick team with a young 22-year-old superstar versus a whole team that was put together to build championships. And for them to even go Game 7, I hear all this is going to be good for them, this and that. You still went to a Game 7 with a team that doesn't clearly have a second person on that team. You had Luka taking you to school every night. You had Luka basically doing everything he could to shut that series down. And they got lucky. The Clippers should pray to whoever they pray to, and they got lucky. That's all I have to say with that. Porzingis is trash. He needs to stop talking. When he was in the Knicks, it was all his brother. Oh, I don't get this. I don't get that. We thought it was Dolan's fault. And now he's in the Mavericks. You want to talk about you don't get the spotlight? You shouldn't. When you're playing with Luka Doncic, a 22-year-old that has set the world on fire. I mean, this guy, there was a stat in the playoffs. I don't know the exact numbers of how many 40-point games this guy had. He has more than
like
Magic,
8 out of 11, I think.
Yeah, Magic Johnson, Bill Russell. They were talking names of Will Chamberlain. They were throwing names of people that, like top Mount Rushmore that didn't do it in their whole. It took them 180 games, 120 games. So Luka deserves every single accolade, every single thing coming to him because the kid is amazing. He is the next face of the league after LeBron hangs it up. I mean, this kid is going to be crazy. And the Clippers, like I said, congratulations on beating the Mavericks in 7 games, basically a one-man show. So I still think Clippers got nothing going on. You're talking about Paul George. He was pandemic P last night again, and we'll get to the next round. But you can't have that. You can't be a max player and be brought there to win championship, and you show up 1 or 2 games out of a 7-game series. So if you didn't show up one of those games, what happens again? They're losing, Kawhi breaking up, all that, because he cannot do his job. Just like Doncic needs Porzingis, Paul George needs to be more consistent like a superstar that he is for Kawhi so they can actually win something and not be happy that they won a 7-game series against a team that had no business taking them to 7 games.
Yeah, that's true. I can agree with that, though. I can agree with that sentiment. Yeah.
The funniest thing I saw that I think is so accurate is they said Porzingis is a 7.
You broke up there. You broke up there. Say that again.
They said Porzingis is a 7'3" Kyle Kuzma.
Oh. That's foul, bro.
Listen, at least Kuzma's not getting paid $25 million a year, right? At least Kuzma's not standing out there and asking $25 million. You're a max player.
Yeah, he's got to get it right. But to your points, the Mavericks, let's not paint them to be bums because they did finish 5th, right behind the Clippers, only 5 games. So they're still a good team. Should that series have gone to 7? Maybe not, but they're a tough team. Even in the bubble last year, they put up a good fight.
Take Luka out of that team. Are they even the 10th or the 11th seed?
No,
take Luka out of that team. They don't win a game in that playoff. All I'm just saying is it was a one-man show. The Clippers should be embarrassed that they went to 7 games with a one-man show. If anybody showed up for the Mavericks on any game, like maybe hit 20, 30 points, 20, 25 points, I think the Clippers would have lost.
I think Tim Hardaway Jr. had a couple of those 20-point games. But
he's
too inconsistent.
Yeah, he's like a third.
No, obviously Clippers are the better roster for sure. But I'm just saying the Mavericks aren't that bad of a team.
They're not bad, but it was a one-man show for me.
But Luka was think about it. Luka was canceling out Kawhi Leonard and Paul George
together.
If it was 2-on-1, he beat them in almost every game. which is crazy. It took
we're talking
Kawhi to
about a
score 45.
22-year-old. A
They could not
22-year-old.
guard him.
That's so
If you were watching,
scary.
he could do whatever he wanted, and they had no answer.
Yeah, offensively, he's a beast. So the final series that I want to get to for
Can we skip that?
Can we skip this one?
Yeah, can we skip this?
well, I would, but I have people, Suns fans that said whenever you talk on the pod, make sure to remind these Lakers fans and these LeBron fans, we the Valley, we got you, and this and that. Some people are saying boss man and over Braun, this and that. I was like, whoa. Let's take a break
all
now.
I'm going to say is I'm happy for D-Book. That's it.
But these Suns fans are going crazy. They want to hear your reactions. They want to know what's up.
They beat an injured Lakers team. Congrats.
I thought Lakers was going to win. And then Paul got hurt, so I thought, okay, that's it. This series is done. And then AD went down. I'm like, okay, so it's still over. The Lakers. And then AD was completely out, and the rest is history. I thought it was, honestly, I thought still it was going to get to a game 7, but the Suns, they did what they did.
Devin Booker officially stepped into superstar status in that last game.
Yeah, he came to
because the reason why I say that. Yeah, the reason why I say that is when you watch that game, he like from that first, I think it was like a 3 or a layup that he hit. He looked possessed. It was like layup 3 came mid range, bang, side side of the whatever, go on left side of the basket, bang, bang. You're like, oh my God, this kid is literally overwhelming the whole TV screen. Like he looks like LeBron when he's chasing down, block you, layup, bang, hit a 3. Like it just looked crazy. Like he looked like a man possessed. And in the last series, they win it again. CP3 is back. Not they win the first game. We're gonna go over that, but CP3 is back, and Book literally was like, yo, my boy can't go. I got this. And he whooped our ass. Like excuse my language. He whooped our behinds. Really good there. So I think Booker took that extra step. And if they win this series, bona fide superstar.
I think we're throwing bona fide superstars out there really just wonky donkey these days. I mean, Trae Young's a superstar now, Devin Booker's a superstar. I mean, guys, we're talking about last year. If you want to talk about superstars, nobody played better than Donovan Mitchell last year in the playoffs. If we want to talk about these young guys being a superstar and you want to talk about one game, Donovan Mitchell is a Hall of Famer then in that sense because of what he did last year in the playoffs. Devin Booker, amazing player. LeBron just gave up. Honestly, guys, as a LeBron fan, I was very disappointed. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be cursing.
We'll believe that.
Ali will take care of that. I was very disappointed. I know he was not 100%, but just his body language and the end of the game, he kind of knew that it was over. Like Mike said, Devin Booker came out, I think he was 6 for 6 from the 3 to open up the game or something. He had 21 points in the first quarter or something. The Suns came out to win that game. And when AD went down, they saw blood in the water and they attacked and just ended it. Without AD, like Ali said, I still thought it would be a game 7. I thought we still got LeBron. But nobody was hitting shots from our side. Like, we watched the games, like everybody disappeared. Kuzma is Kuzma. Montrezl Harris, 6th man of the year last year, he disappeared. There was no shooters hitting shots. So as much as I give credit to the Sun and what CP3 has done with that team and Devin Booker starting up and becoming an all-star in his own rights in many different ways, I think it was more on the Lakers losing that series to me than the Clippers. For the Suns winning it. The Suns, I'm not taking nothing away from them. And shout out to my boy Cammy. Congratulations, my brother. You deserve it. You enjoy it. The Suns enjoy it. But you know what? To all the Laker and LeBron fans, LeBron gave up on us on that last couple of possessions, and I will never forget that. And I'm the biggest, as you guys know, and anybody that knows me, I will defend LeBron to the end. But that was just disgusting. That was worse than when he lost to the Mavericks in the finals to me, just his body language. And I think this is going to be the year that somebody finally takes that throne from him.
Ooh, that's a discussion at the end of the season.
I think the Suns just took it personal, the way they're playing. Like, you know, all this hype about a 2 seed versus 7 seed. The 7 seed is highly favored to win. But these guys definitely took that personal. They're like, yo, they really got these 7 seed over us. So from the start, these guys they just wanted to take down the Kings. And then when AD went down, the whole Lakers demeanor just went down. Like, you did not see any effort. Nobody was trying. And the Suns just outplayed us. That's all it really was. They wanted it more at the end of the day.
I have to defend my Devin Booker superstar comment. Like, I have to defend that. Like, the kids capsize all the time where they fall apart. And like, we measure superstars by their ability to be resilient and close things out. That's what we measure superstars by, right? No, and their accolades, etc. But that
superstar is somebody that does this for a certain amount of time. To me, I hate being the prisoner of the moment. To me, a superstar, an all-star is different than a superstar. A superstar is somebody that does it year in, year and out for many years to come. We have seen a lot of all-stars who cannot have an amazing game, and he's an all-star. Devin Booker is a first-round all-star player right now. For me to be a superstar is you have to do it multiple years, multiple times to become a superstar. If we give everybody a superstar, then who's not a superstar? Then
Do you think Luka's a superstar?
I think Luka's a superstar.
Okay, time out. So Booker. Booker.
You remember last year you guys are arguing about Jimmy Butler being a superstar? You guys remember that?
And I said he wasn't.
I remember that.
And I said he wasn't, and he showed that he wasn't this year. We said that Kawhi is the best player in the league when he won with Toronto. Last year he missed the playoffs and blew a 3-1 lead. This is what I mean, right? This is exactly to the argument in the beginning of this podcast, Mike, last time when you said the Knicks have more talent. Because we're prisoners. Because they've won the 3rd seed. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just saying we need to cool down on superstars because everybody can't be a superstar. There has to be all-stars. There has to be only... So you're putting Devin Booker in the same level as Kawhi, as LeBron, as Doncic, as all these other players.
He's going to be there.
But he's there right now. That's my point.
No, he's not there right now. But he's
becoming a superstar. He solidified becoming an all-star.
Guys, we're short on time, guys. I think we should. This is great. This is a great topic. We could discuss it in the next podcast.
Candy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. We'll pick it up. We'll pick it up. So hold that train of thought for the next podcast. But we got to move on to the second round. All right. So second round, Hawks, Sixers. That game 1, I was shocked that the Hawks took it. Even though Joel Embiid, as we know, was hurt. And then they came back and won game 2. Where do you guys see this series going? Hawks?
All I have to say is Seth Curry is the X factor.
I think Ben Simmons. He had 4 points last game and they won the game. You were talking about their second best player.
I got Hawks just because Doc Rivers be choking lately.
Nah, I got
the reason why I think Seth is the X factor is his timely 3-point shooting.
Oh yeah,
because Simmons can't shoot. I'm not saying that. I'm not taking anything away from Simmons or Harris or Embiid. No. I think he's just like he's the player that doesn't get guarded.
Yeah,
and because of that, I feel like he's the X factor.
I forgot
because they'll double team Embiid. They'll lock up Simmons, foul, blah blah blah. And Curry's standing on the 3-point line. What's good? Let me get the ball.
I mean, he did drop 30 to close out the last series. So I forgot
to mention that DeAndre Hunter for the Hawks is also out for the series. Injured. Yeah.
I think so too.
Phillies are gonna take it.
Huter's good though. Shout out to Kevin Huter.
Huter's been balling.
Last known.
Yeah,
he's balling.
He's been balling.
We can't take it away from him.
And the
He's
kid,
doing pretty good.
man, what's that name? That kid that was like man something.
That's on the Clippers.
No, he's somebody.
Terrence Mann is from the Clippers.
No,
from the Clippers.
What am I thinking about in the Hawks? That
Huter.
Huter. So I'm thinking about the same guy.
Huter, Kevin Huter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Phillies in that series, and we'll talk about that more. Mm-hmm.
Atlanta.
Oh, nice pick. Mossy?
I think I'm just picking Nets to the finals. But anyway, yeah, I got the Phillies. I got the Phillies.
All right. So speaking of the Suns and Suns and Nuggets. Suns take game 1. Game 2 will be tonight, actually, 9:30. What do you guys think? How is this series going to go?
I think the Suns pull it out, but I think that the Nuggets win tonight because Jokic is like that type of guy. I don't know.
He won MVP.
Yeah, he's like that quirky type of dude.
My boy is bad.
That's going to be like, all right, I'm going to drop like 35 on y'all, and then we're going to walk away and win, and then y'all can have the rest of this. I don't care about it.
Yeah, it's hard to win this without Jamal Murray.
It is hard. I still see some way, somehow, the Nuggets pulling it off. This is more of a heart pick than anything else. And I hope the Suns win just because of Cammy. I do want my boy
to win. Piss Cammy off this podcast.
We did take the Super Bowl from him one year, so I want his Suns to win. But and CP3, I really, when we started this whole thing with the playoffs, I said I want CP3 to win one. But I just feel like there's something about the Nuggets. I don't know. There's something about the Nuggets.
I can't even disagree with that. I can't even go against that. Like
I'm rolling with the Valley Boys, the Suns. Let's go. Because I believe when you got CP3 on that team, like the man's a genius. He's like the Rondo of what was to the Lakers last year. So he's gonna have those guys clicking. Jazz and Clippers. So
let's go. Take a note, baby. Jazz all day.
So I think Jazz are gonna win.
Believe it or not,
Clippers are gonna find a way.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Clippers on this one too. Even though
it's too much talent. Like,
who's better, Luka Doncic or Donovan Mitchell?
Luka.
You sure?
It depends.
They're
good on their teams.
I think
you can't switch them. You wouldn't be able to switch them and get the same result.
Mitchell has better 3-point shooters around him. So when a Marcus Morris Sr. steps up, or a Terrence Mann steps up, an Ingles, a Bogdanovich, they're gonna like try to shoot you out the building, and Jordan Clarkson's gonna come out and try to dunk on you and then shoot you out the building. And then you have Donovan Mitchell, who scored 45 points last night, got coached up by D Wade, and said at the end, he said in the fourth quarter,
that was nice to see.
Yeah,
he said, I have to find a way. And he found a way, and he willed that team to victory, and that is different than what Luka did against that team. Yeah.
Did you guys see how every time he would do the switch and then Kawhi was coming to double team, he would run the other way and dip before Kawhi could get there and just lay it up? I got Doncic over Donald Mitchell every day, all day. I'm sorry. I do understand where you're coming from. The kid is special. Like I said, if you saw last year's playoff, that kid is a superstar if we're measuring it by that. I just think Utah is going to take it. They're too big and physical. I think the Clippers are still missing something. I think the Clippers are exhausted from the last series.
They need a point guard, but
you guys have to understand, if Mavs took them to Game 7, Jazz is 10 times better than the Mavs. The Jazz are 10 times better.
They're trying to figure out their point guard rotation.
Yeah, no Mike Conley.
Mike Conley will come back by the end of the series, right? He is coming back. They won that without Mike Conley. And Mitchell had to take that blunt thing. You guys cannot expect Kawhi to do what he did on Game 7.
Who dominated most of the game?
The Clippers.
All right. So as a Clipper, like,
and they still
you feel good about that game.
And they still lost by 3.
Remember, Clippers played 8 games in like 18 days.
Correct.
They're going to get the rest eventually coming up soon.
As long as you win one of these 2 games, you're in good position. Like,
I don't know.
they almost came
how
out
you
winning
guys,
this
I know,
game.
but I don't understand where this loyalty for the Clippers come from. I don't
It's not
understand.
loyalty. It's watching a game.
No, not loyalty. I mean, they're gonna pull it off somehow. What have they done to prove that? They blew a 3-1 lead last year. They just went to a game 7 to a team that played with one man, basically.
One player.
Why are we like all
They got
this thing
Ty
about-
Lue. They got Ty Lue.
Get out of here, man.
They got Ty Lue.
Like I said, I don't see where this comes from. This we believe
They
in the
just have
Clippers.
depth. Their team is
But they
so
did
much
last year
deeper.
too, though. They were up 3-1. They had the same team, and they had a better team last year. The only
And we're
difference
not
is they
even
didn't have
talking
Rondo.
about Rudy Gobert. We're not even
And
talking
you're
about
talking
them
about the
having an
best defensive
actual
player
center.
that's going to be underneath the basket 24/7. He made the defensive play of the night last night, blocking. I don't see why we believe in the Clippers so much. When
He makes
what
Zubac
happened,
look like a
happened with them last year and this year so far.
I don't know. I believe in the depth, and I think Ty Lue is a good coach making adjustments that will have them.
He's better than Doc Rivers.
Ooh.
They're both champions. They're both
I don't know.
champions.
Doc Rivers didn't know what he was doing last year,
Realistically,
though.
look me in my eyes,
You know what he was
and
doing
tell
last night?
me
Last
you
night, though.
think Doc
Okay.
Rivers and Ty Lue are the same
All
level.
right. I'll tell you this: if Doc Rivers was coaching this team, would they have won the last series?
But no. Don't answer my question first.
That's
before
your
you ask me a
answer.
question.
That's your answer.
My answer is no. My answer is just because he choked in 2 games of the blue leads doesn't make him a better coach.
Yeah, but Ty
the
Lue
only reason
adjusted.
he won because he had LeBron. What did Ty Lue do anything without LeBron, bro?
All right.
You cannot sit here and tell me Doc
we
Rivers
only
is
have
not a
5
better
minutes.
coach.
We'll talk about this some other time. So and then finally Nets Bucks. We got like literally 3 minutes. Not even.
Nets.
I mean,
That's not
that's
even a question.
championship. That's not
Yeah,
even.
KD.
They were up 40-something at one point. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah,
40 points in the
49
playoffs.
points.
49.
Yeah,
49
49.
in the playoffs.
So who wins tomorrow? Game 3. I think.
The Nets. What?
I
I
heard-
have a question. It's a sweep.
I don't know.
hope
I
JC
don't
is
know.
playing
I don't
point guard.
think so.
Yo, did
They're
you
gonna
see
sweep
what
them.
Durant and Kyrie were doing to Giannis? I felt
They're
so
gonna
bad, bro.
sweep them.
I felt
Giannis
so
looks
bad.
like he looked in the first round against Miami last year. It's over, bro.
No, but he was
done.
playing like
But here's
really
the problem.
good defense, but they just were.
The Bucks, they're settling for jump shots. If they dominate in the paint, they could definitely win. But for some reason, they just settling for jump shots, which is why they're losing.
Did
I
the
don't know.
Bucks change coach last year? They didn't change coach.
I don't
No,
know. I don't.
no,
I
they
don't
didn't.
expect for them to adjust mentally. I just don't.
Yo, can we
I
answer
don't
my
understand
question?
How the
What's the
coach still has
question?
a
What's the
job.
question?
Can we answer my question? Yo, if you had to be on an island 1-on-1 against Durant, Kyrie, or Harden, who are you taking?
Harden.
1-on-1? Anybody but Durant.
Yeah, word. Kyrie, he's
You
the
guys aren't
closest to
thinking
my
about
height.
this.
Listen, in the end of the day, the
You're
other
just-
two are somewhat my size. I'm not going against a 6'11" with a
Yeah,
fit
how you
25
How you can defend
span,
Durant?
you know,
His
wingspan.
arm
Durant.
reaches the
I'm
ceiling.
going Durant. I'm saving my ankles.
All right. Anyways, guys, this will do it for this episode. We'll definitely be back for more. Thank you for tuning in. Catch us on the next one. Until next time, peace.
Peace out.
Peace.
Good luck,
Peace.
Cammy boy. I hope your sons make it.
Facts.